In Kirby and the Forgotten Land, there's a new feature. With the help of the crafty Weapons Shop Waddle Dee and a couple of her stones, every single copy ability in the game can be evolved. Unfortunately, Kirby and the Forgotten Land only has 12 copy abilities, while there are over 60 copy abilities in the entire Kirby franchise. So, why stop at 12? Why not give almost every single copy ability 3 evolutions, including an entire moveset for the new 3D environment Kirby has been sucked into. Hello everyone, I'm Dexys and welcome to Kirby's Forgotten Abilities, a series where I will be making blueprints for Kirby's copy abilities that didn't make it into the Forgotten Land. And here we have Spark. With this ability we have the return of the classic Spark attack, alongside charge power and some of its attacks. The classic Spark attack is done just like always, by holding B. And just like Spark's modern iterations, if you constantly move around, Kirby builds up static and charged power, forming an energy barrier around themselves. With the return of Electric Barrier, we also have the return of Spark Arrow, Spark Laser, and Spark Wave, which are nerfed to be weaker. The first evolution for Spark is Plasma Spark. Hey, the Plasma copy ability was created as an extension of Spark in the first place, so it's only natural that it's treated as such now. Plasma Spark is basically a stronger, bigger, and better version of Spark. The barrier shot attacks are the ones from Kirby Air Ride: Plasma Spray, Plasma Sap, Plasma Comets, Plasma Laser, and Plasma Wave. Spark's second evolution is Thunder Spark, known overseas as Raging Spark. Kirby gains the powers of the demon god of lightning by using his Thunder Drums. The gimmick with this evolution is that if you hold the B button after performing one of the barrier shot attacks, Kirby will make a spark force field around himself and float with their drum set, being able to move around in this state. When you release the B button, Kirby will do the same barrier shot. This can be done repeatedly, but with each consecutive attack, each shot gets progressively smaller and weaker. The amount of time Kirby can float for in this state is a little over a second. For Spark's final evolution, Kirby manipulates the powers of nightmares and bends them to their will with Nightmare Spark, based off the Nightmare Wizard from Kirby's Adventure. Nightmare Spark is an explosive version of Spark, this being because the Nightmare shots explode in contact. The Spark attack has Kirby generate Nightmare Tornado, and it also shoots Nightmare Stars to enemies that get too close. The energy barrier is now Nightmare Orb. The more it charges up, the less glitchy and transparent it gets. Kirby can also move really while doing this attack, albeit a little bit slower than usual. The barrier attacks are all now Nightmare themed and charge up very quickly. The first 3 charges replace Plasma Balls for Nightmare Stars. If you hold down the B button when doing these attacks, Kirby will do them 5 consecutive times. After these come Nightmare Laser, Nightmare Energy, and Nightmare Orb, which don't have the special treatment the first 3 charge attacks do. And now we have the strong-armed heavy hitter, Stone. Stone is a simple ability. Press B to turn into Stone. Other returning moves are Heavy Smash, done by holding B in midair, and Turbo Stone, done by pressing B while running. There's nothing new to this ability and nothing to change. The classic moveset is as solid as a rock. Its first evolution is Metal Stone. The once individual ability is now an evolution. Hey, heavy metal is a type of rock. Kirby here brings all the moves seen in Kirby's Squeak Squad, adapting them into Stone's moves. Press B to turn into metal. The difference between this move and Stone Change is that Kirby can now move in their metallic state, albeit very slowly. This move is called Heavy Walk. Kirby can also jump and float with Heavy Jump and Heavy Float. While Kirby's all shiny and metallic, he's invulnerable to almost everything. The only things that can stop Metal Kirby is Boss Collision and Lava, which hurt Kirby. For everything else, Kirby can plow through. Heavy Crash stays pretty much the same, only that Kirby now does Metal's hip attack instead, ground pounding straight down. His Crash also creates a small shockwave on the ground around him. Finally, Turbo Stone is now Ballification, but Kirby doesn't turn into a ball and just curls up into one instead, just like how they do in Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. Once they stop rolling, they stand up just like usual. Kirby's second evolution is based off the mischievous blockhead, Blocky. Kirby now jumps up by default when turning into Stone. Every time they crash into the floor, Kirby creates 2 smaller stones beside them, one to their left and another to their right. Not only that, but Kirby can move around the stone nearly as fast as normal Kirby. Heavy Smash can now be done from the ground, also starting up by jumping up before crashing down. Turbo Stone is faster and slides for longer. It has Kirby crush their way forwards now, just like Blocky does in its boss fights. We also have the new move, Heavy Dive, in which Kirby gains a little bit of height while transforming into his stone self and dives straight down. This attack being made by pressing and holding B while running in midair. For Stone's third evolution, Kirby takes a way out of Lololo and Lololo's shoulders by taking a part-time job at their castle with Lololo Stone. With this ability, Kirby turns into a life-size statue of Lololo or Lololo, pushing a block or a Gordo. During this state, Kirby can freely move as the statues, just barely as fast as normal. The attacks stay the same, except that the blocks in the statue grow bigger during them. Turbo Stone is now Block Dash. Heavy Drop is now Double Block, where attached to the back of the Lololo statue is a Lololo one, pulling a block towards the same direction Lololo is pushing his block. Lololo Stone has two new moves. We have the Block Throw, which is done by pressing B as Kirby is a stone. Here Kirby transforms out of stone and will push the block forwards really hard, sliding it until it hits a wall and breaks into many stone pebbles. Then we have Block Slide, done by holding the B button as Kirby's stone form. Here, the Lololo or Lololo part of the statue will explode into pebbles as the block is pushed forwards and sent sliding. Once the block has contact with a wall or the B button is released, Kirby will transform out of the block. For both moves, if the block has contact with a weak enemy, it will defeat it. And if it's a stronger enemy like a boss or mid-boss, the block will slide right through them. In the case of double block, for both attacks, the blocks will be slid towards the direction they're looking at. But with Block Slide, Kirby will only come out of the block that was thrown towards the direction the control stick was last pressed. Finally, we have Light. This ability has a gimmick, that being that it only works on dark environments. After all, there needs to be darkness for light to be seen. The default version of this ability has 3 moves, the first of which being Flash, done by tapping B. The only difference now being that its explosion causes damage, and it doesn't permanently light up a room. Instead, it just lights up the area around Kirby for as long as the attack lasts. The second attack being Illuminate, done by holding B. In this attack, Kirby creates a field of light around him. He can slowly move during this attack, and it causes very little damage. This attack kinda works like a flinching version of the Spark plus Bomb ability combo from Kirby 64. And its third and final attack is Flashbang, done by dashing and tapping B. Flashbang is done horizontally, therefore it's just flash but forwards. Kirby also stops in place, losing all momentum when the attack is done. Light's first evolution is Lamplight. With this evolution, Flash and Flashbang get a wider and longer cone-like radius, not to mention how the attacks are stronger. Illuminate now has Kirby walk around slower, but instead of radiating the light from around him, a spotlight is presented in front of him. You can move the spotlight alongside Kirby, only that while Kirby moves around slowly, the spotlight moves just as fast as Kirby does in regular walking speed. With this move, you have to juggle controlling both Kirby and the spotlight simultaneously. Light's second evolution is Disco Light. With this evolution, Flash and Flashbang are now smaller, but are split into multiple shots, all going towards different directions. Kirby's Illuminate now has smaller multiple spotlights constantly spin around Kirby, going towards varying directions. You know, like a disco. This evolution makes the ability actually work on the daylight. But instead of the pretty colors as seen on the daylight it's all white, and the damage dealt in the daylight is as little as the base light ability does damage, which is very, very little. For Light's final evolution, Kirby dons the power of Dreamland's beloved classic, Sun and Moon duo, Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright. With this evolution, Light's attacks are bigger and flashier, and Kirby uses some of the duo's iconic attacks. Flash is now Nightfall, in which Kirby's Light Flash is replaced with an illusion of the moon, which explodes and bursts into multiple shooting stars, raining down randomly towards a wide radius always set around Kirby. So if Kirby moves around during this star rain attack, the radius moves alongside them. Flashbang is now Solar Beam, in which Kirby's Light Flash is replaced with an illusion of the sun, which stays floating in place and almost immediately shoots a big and long laser beam towards the direction Kirby was facing when the attack was triggered. And Illuminate is now Bright Fight, in which 2 big illusions of the sun and moon begin to fight around Kirby by clashing into each other. Each clash they do causes a room-wide flash of light, which illuminates the entirety of the room. Of course, the constant movement of the sun and moon during their fight is what causes the damage of this attack. Finally, this evolution has one more attack, with its name being Eclipse Flash. First, if you shield and hold B, Kirby will create an illusion of the sun on top of his head, and one of the moon right in front of it, facing towards the same direction Kirby is facing to when triggering the attack. When doing this move, you're free to move the moon around with the control stick in a limited path around the sun. Once you let go of the B button, you lose control over the moon, and the sun flashes its light all around a wide radius around Kirby, attacking with a quick burst of light beams around the brightened radius. The only place of the radius to not be hit with the flash of light is towards a cone-shaped shadow, which starts and expands from the direction the moon is placed in. And just like that, 3 more of Kirby's forgotten abilities have been given evolutions. You can choose one of the next abilities by becoming a supporter over at Patreon. Speaking of supporters, special thanks to Sonico, Makel, and my other Patreons. Genuinely, thank you a lot for your support. To everyone else, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you look forward to the next Kirby's Forgotten Abilities episodes. Have a great day, bye!